Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're having a good weekend. Gray weekend. I know I'm wishing for the sunlight right now. It's cold out today too. I'm recording this on Sunday, so um, I'm sure you all are feeling that temperature change. So I'm just gonna go through the next step here, and y'all should be pretty good to go after this step because I'm gonna cover a lot of the info, kind of riffing off of the introduction last week with the tracing paper and the graph paper and kind of those intro stages. As you can see, my illustration board here is filled up with these shapes here. I drew in my lines already. Just with this clear ruler is really good. I also taped down everything here so it doesn't move. And I also taped it down, just a little trick. It's kind of these little tricks that make all the difference with your designs and just make things a little easier, is that this cutting board has these edges on here and these lines. So I lined up my board with this and then I just taped it down so that you kind of want everything as straight as you can get it, from the start. So again, just for the measurements on this board, I think they're on canvas, of course, but it's 11 inches by 11 inches, right? So that makes, with this inch border here, I just made my inch border with the tape, just so it gives it a border and holds it down simultaneously. And then I just did, 9 inches across and then 9 inches up and down. So it makes those perfect 81 individual squares here. Again, that coincides with the graph paper, which is perfect. So, everything you do here for your experiments, obviously you can see I did a bunch of experiments here. This is not one progression, don't get confused. I'll go through it, but these are all individual ones I was experimenting with. I'm also going to put in the, I'm going to send you all a message about the brushes. I don't know if you can see here, but these brushes, I may have ones that I left on campus that were much smaller in the kit, but I hope that you all had some smaller ones. These are a little big for painting. I would get a really small flat brush and a really small round one for these details in here. But I don't know if they're in your kit. I don't see them in mine for some reason, but again, I could have forgotten them on campus. I haven't been there in a little while because of COVID stuff, so I could have multiple things there. So you can get those on Amazon. I'm gonna send you all a link in an announcement too, just so you can see them. But yeah, definitely get some smaller ones for some of these details. The final work is going to be with this acrylic paint and then the micron pen. So just to show you here, if you see this circle one, for instance, you could do the acrylic paint for the bigger parts all around it here, but then you might go in and kind of do the ink in here, right, on the smaller details. So you could use, these brushes to kind of, it'll save you time to just go in and do the, the acrylic paint on the big parts. But then for some of these smaller ones, again, you'll have a small brush too, so that'll take care of some of these areas as well. But between the two of these things, or however many things brushes you have, and the micron pen, you'll be good to go. So I just want to show you a couple transfer techniques. I have to say, sometimes it's funny just in design thinking and like design progress. I started like with this complicated design, and to be honest, I don't like it. I like sat down to do it, and I'm like, I don't even like this design. It's too complicated. I don't. It takes too much time, and I don't know. I don't think it looks that great. So, here's me critiquing myself, right, and not liking what I'm doing. So, anyways, long story short is I kind of just started experimenting with like simple shapes on this template. And the cool part about the template is that everything like is small and like it goes from small to large, right? So you can get a lot of these sort of morphing things just from the way the template's kind of arranged. This is a really simple one I did, right? This is just, you know, gradually putting in bigger to smaller, right? And then you could like, you know, just repeat this. So, I mean, this is I'll do a pen so it shows up. I mean, this is one of the simpler designs. I hope, I hope to not see a bunch of projects that are just circles turned in. Please don't do that. Give me some variety to work with and give yourself, you know, a good design. It doesn't have to be something like crazy where you're doing like all these crazy lines all over the place and trying to confuse yourself. But you know, get creative. I think some of the best designs, in my opinion, are how do I say it? I guess you know they're simple in the way they look, but some of the shifts can be a little complex or creative. Like, for instance, I kind of like this one. This is just a rectangle, right? And then it's just gradually tilted each time. But when you kind of, if you think about this one, right, and it's repeated throughout this whole project, and it does this throughout the whole thing, it's going to look pretty cool. So keep in mind, think of like, you know, a part to the whole relationship when you're doing this. And again, you know, use your graph paper here, right, to do some like experimentation. And then the best part is about this is, again, you only have to do it once. So I'm just going to trace it from here. So if I get this down like just how I want it, I could literally just trace it. Obviously, I would use a ruler. I'm just doing this for ease to show you all. So then I have that little progression. I did this, so this is an important part too. Pay attention to just to the detail here. I trace this in pen, but if I want to do a transfer here, so say I want to transfer this exact design and mirror it, I'm gonna flip. So this is the part that I drew on. This is where the ink is. You want to put the ink face down and then get a pencil. So get a light pencil or whatever pencil, it doesn't matter. And then press in. So if you think about the ink going on to your page here, go like that. And it'll actually transfer the ink right onto your board. So there you can see kind of a faint outline. It might be a little hard to see, but again, you're going to go in and, you know, fill it in anyway. So as long as you can see a faint kind of outline, this one lined up a little off, it's okay. So you can see how this would look pretty cool, right? So you would go and fill in a little bit, or if you just had a thin, flat brush, I mean, this might just be one stroke of paint, right?